Yeah.
What is going on, traders? This is going to be hopefully a really short video on a trade that I took today. For today's Friday, August, what is it, the 6th? I believe it's the 6th. Yeah, August 6th, that I took into the afternoon lows. And I just want to explain how you can use a number of confluences to have a short-term bias and use a footprint and a few other charts to give yourself a trade that has a higher probability of success. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it here. So first off here, on this left-hand side, this is a weekly chart, and as you can see on this weekly chart, what we have here on the bottom is the asset managers, and as you see, this trend line has been resistance, you could say. And so as we pull back here, what tends to happen is asset managers start to sell, right? We start to push up off this sort of this lower boundary. So today, here prices, we've bounced here off this area. They're starting to sell and price is still moving up. So that's bullish short term. So we're up here near all-time highs. And then the backdrop is that we had non-farm payroll this morning. And as you can see from this chart, positive, right? We sold off, couldn't continue selling, and then went straight up, and the market, right, couldn't hold, and then it was just a bunch of sideways chop, and then we drifted up, and then we started to drift down, right? As soon as we got everybody underneath this trend line right here, 1, 2, 3, right, became a little sell fest here into the early afternoon, about noon my time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And at this point I was thinking to myself, okay, well, what is the play on this, right? What is the play here? So I saw RTH Value Area Low as price was screaming past through VWAP. And I said to myself, well, what I'd like to see is some ice and some taper. So a lack of interest to sell this low here, right? And that would still be bullish, right? So I could define my stop, put a stop underneath this low. If we make a higher low, it's still pretty bullish. And what I was looking at on the, let me see here. Let me load this up. I'm on a replay. It's taking its sweet time. Anyway, super bullish non-farm payroll is the backdrop. All-time highs. I'm looking at this 15-minute RTH only chart down here on the left. As you can see, here's the, where the trend line starts. All right, and then we created a trend line off this second tap. And then when we came back up, we didn't even hit the trend line, just boom, right? A little gap. So if you've watched my previous videos where I talk about rule of 3, you should watch that, right? And so you'll know that this gap is bullish if we come back close to it and don't even hit the trend line and then go. So I was thinking the same thing may happen here again. It's very bullish, non-farm payroll backdrop. And then I was also looking at, so these blue bars here represent ask volume, right, which is initiative buying delta. And then these red represent bid volume, which is initiative selling delta, or you could think of absorptive buyers. So what I was looking at here was I saw all this positive delta here. And if we push down through the session value area lows, we're probably going to find stops. And then I was looking at the overnight, right, where we had a little volume node here, about 25,000 contracts all up in here. I thought, well, yeah, we might sell lower, but if we sell lower and we get past this pullback low here from sort of the morning session, well, then I want to be stopped anyway. So I thought, if I put my stop over right around T+2, then, if I'm wrong, that's okay. We're entering then probably trend down for the day or into the close, right? So that's the reason for, when I do enter long here, that's the reason for having my stop down here under T+2. I figured also T+2, which is just settlement plus 2 days for equities or stocks. I figured T+2 may act as support as well. Okay, and then we had all these negative deltas here, which I thought, well, shorts may want to cover here. So, I'll take this trade if it sets up on the footprint the way I want it to. Okay, so here's my sort of normal traditional footprint. And here we are coming into this area. As you can see, so here's the volume profile shape. And here's that extended trading or overnight session sort of volume node, right? And this is about, I don't know, 20, 25,000 contracts right in this area. I figured, those guys from overnight who are short, they're going to want to maybe get out, right? And again, all the bullish backdrop with NFP and everything like that, I thought, okay, that sets up my bias as a little more bullish. So what I was thinking is I was going to be looking for some ice with a little bit of taper, and then if I see a little initiative off that taper, I'm going to just go ahead and buy, and I can put my stop 3 points below. Okay, so that is my idea for the trade, right? I was looking for 4 points, which would be 16 ticks, and so I will just play this in real time, and then I'll just analyze it, and you guys can see what I was thinking here. All right, we're going to go ahead and speed this up to 3 times speed. So here we go, right? Dropping off value, which value's here, session value area low. Now, look at what happens as we come into this area here. You see that this is yellow. That yellow just means it's like almost 100% delta through this area. Okay? So a little bit of absorption on the bid. Okay. Nothing to write home about here yet. We'll speed it up to 7x speed. All right. 10x speed here. Here we go. I'm using a point-in figure 1-12. Now look here. Look, we have what looks like an iceberg buyer, negative 811 deltas on the bid. Out of what, I don't know, a few thousand contracts. So somebody's bidding this area big time. Right? It's not that obvious, but price bounced up and then they added ice. Okay, so it's a little tricky. It's not like the ice was just sitting there. Look at that. The ice was not just sitting there the whole time. All right, they're rebidding the area when price moves back above, and that's a little bit more sophisticated. Okay. So price is moving, just bouncing, hesitating around this area. So for me, that was already a good sign. Okay. So you see this? We push down. 23. All right, now we're at 2x speed. Okay. Notice the contracts. There's less. So I'm starting to pay attention big time here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add a DOM here. So remember, what did I say I was looking for? A little bit of ice and some taper into this area. Now, here's where we're at right now. We're at RTH Value Area Low. We're just below it. Okay, we're at 23. Now we have some taper. We have some massive imbalance on the bid side here. And you see how we're tapering down in this area? All right, they're absorbing on the bid. Massive taper into this area. Okay, so we're just watching the volume build right in this area. Okay. What I'm looking at is this. See how it's building? And it's just tapered down right here. You see that? It's just the contracts just go way down. And there's someone bidding this area, right? So I've already identified it here, right? So I just want to bid the whole area and fight for price, right? If I get filled a little lower, fine. Okay, so we're going to speed this up, but we already have here what we're looking for. Look, it's above this trend line just like it was here, right? We saw some initiative buying off the low, not a whole lot of interest. And in this trade, what I'm looking for is 3 points. Okay, so this is set up to be a 12 point or 12 tick or 3 point stop loss. But I'm looking for 3 or 4 points, and I'm looking for this area here to fill in, which is the 26.5 to 27.5. So I'm long from 24, 25, right? So where are we looking to take off? About 3 points. So 25, so 28. Okay, we didn't get these contracts filled. That's okay. All right, we'll take them off for clarity's sake. And again, we're looking for about 1-to-1 risk reward. But the thing is that this is a high probability trade setup. Okay, so we'll speed it up 10 times so we can see how this trade works out. $15 times. Speed it up to 20. And there you go. So 4 contracts, 14 points for a quick, 3.5, 4 points. I got 4 points out of it. I was quick, 23.50. I was fighting for price here, so I got in right here around 23.50. Again, I already had the idea that these negative deltas here would probably get me what I wanted. So I was just fighting for price there. So anyway, that's the trade. I hope you guys find this useful, and I hope everybody traded well today, and I hope that you guys have a great weekend. All right, take it easy.